CH in their face, let them know I'ma do that blue and gold up. Make them haters throw up. Throw that blue and gold up. Make them haters throw up. Throw that blue and gold up. Make them haters throw up. Throw that blue and gold up. Make them haters throw up. Throw that blue and gold up. Make them haters throw up. Throw that blue and gold up. Make them haters throw up. Throw that blue and gold up. Make them haters throw up. Throw that blue and gold up. Make them haters throw up. Throw that blue and gold up. CH in they face, let them know I'ma blow that blue and gold up. CH in they face, let them know I'ma blow that blue and gold up. CH in they face, let them know I'ma blow that blue and gold up. CH in they face, let them know that. Shut them haters up, you know we go so hard. Chopper hit up in they face, yeah, I'm a bulldog. Number one is what we holding, number one is what we stand. When you step out on that field, let them know you ain't playing. Step back in that pocket, launch it off like a rocket. Pass the pill, run the ball, either way they ain't gon' stop it. Bring that trophy back and let them know the CH got it locked up from the east to west, north to the south, and they can't top it. That defense they holding, that O-line be blocking. Check your Facebook, them bulldogs, they tryna top it. Them corners on they job, they receivers, they gon' lock it. And don't try and punt the ball because that D-line gon' block it. They know we coming hard, they know we coming strong. Let them haters do they talking, Chopper here deserves the throne. Yeah, we sit at number one, they know we can't be cloned. Now it's time to handle business, gonna bring that title home. Work, throw that blue and gold up.
Good evening, Bulldog Sports Network. Good evening, it's your founder, Brett Swinney, alongside Corey Marshall. Hopefully, Vincent Johnson will join us shortly. Corey, how's it going?
It's going, man. So hump day, Wednesday.
Yep, just Wednesday, closer to Friday.
Yes, yes.
Make an announcement here at the start of our show. Girls, if y'all didn't know, won last night, beat Bullard handily to tie for second place. They'll be playing off against Bullard Hill at 6 o'clock. We've made a little change in our agenda, and Bulldog Sports Network will be there on the call. So I know I'll be there. Corey's going to make every effort to be there. It's a long drive on a new job week for Corey, so hopefully he can get there in time. But we will be there. Vincent Johnson has given us a thumbs up to third game in a row to help us. Corey, I think he's caught the itch.
And he's scratching it right now. He's definitely scratching.
It's been glad to have Vince out with us. Let's just take this opportunity to thank our sponsor for tonight's show, Zoe Knows Insurance. Shout out to Zoe. Zoe, if you're listening, please reach out. Trying to get in touch with you. I want to get some things worked out and schedule with you, possibly have you back on our show. So to shout out to Zoe and his sponsorship on a weekly basis for our show, and also all of our basketball games this season. Also like to keep reminding you, keep an eye on our website. There's some big things happening behind the scenes of Bulldog Sports Network. So stay tuned, guys. We've got a lot of things planned. Some not all worked out yet, but keep your eyes open. We've got things coming down the pipe that I think everyone's going to be really excited about. I know I am.
Always good news.
So where do you want to start, Corey?
Let's just dive right into it. It's getting close to playoff time. So, I mean, everybody's anxious to see. I know everybody's playing basketball, but I want to say this. Our condolences to Alto, um,
Yes, glad you
young
mentioned
kid
that.
that's,
Yeah, I
that's
was reading up. I was reading up on it, Corey, and they actually had another player back in
some years ago.
2015
Yep.
that passed away on the football field. So that's just tough to happen one time within a time frame, but twice in a community like that. So all our prayers will be headed to Alto, Texas, for a few weeks, and in the weeks to come here, it's going to be a tough way to kind of. I mean, they're about to hit their playoff stretch. You've got to put something like that in the rear view, which is harder to put a loss in the rear view, much less a loss of a teammate. I mean, that's they have, hopefully they'll be able to turn that and spin it to a positive and play for this young man and give a heartwarming effort, maybe make a little run for him.
Yeah, that's
So
a tough one.
yeah, it is nothing like being in the middle of a game and I can't imagine calling a game and that happening, just being in attendance. It's just a sad deal. So we can look at we can talk about the district standings after last night. Now, I don't know if you saw it, Corey, but your boys lost to him.
I don't.
And Corey, you with us? I think we lost Corey for a second there. Corey, you with us there? Corey? Corey, you with me? Corey, I think we got some Suddenlink problems there. Possibly. We lost Corey for a moment, so we'll get him back here in just a second. But we'll talk about the standings here in the district. We've got Bullard sitting at 9-2, Chapel at 7-3. That puts Lindale also at 7-3. You've got, let's go over here to our website where we can definitely take a look at all that. If you're looking for information on the boys basketball team, you just click on the boys sports tab, drop down, and click basketball. Right there, you've got the most updated district standings that we have. Again, Lindale beat Henderson last night, and Spring Hill shot Kilgore. So it's a big game for district play. So we've got Bullard 9-2, Chapel Hill, Lindale 7-3, Kilgore hanging on to the fourth seed at 5-6. Henderson is now 4-6, and Spring Hill 3-7, and Cumberland at 1-9. So, there's Corey. We'll get him back here. He must not have done well at work today. They cut off his internet. Let's see. Let's see if we get it back on. Corey,
I don't know what happened. That was odd.
I'm telling you,
like that. Huh.
they said, man, it must have been someone in the sales department. They're like, man, we lost Corey. We miss him. We're gonna get him back. We're gonna mess with his internet tonight.
I hope not. I need that at least today. At least today and Friday. I'm good after that, so I'll be able to watch the Super Bowl. At least.
So Corey, we were just kind of going over the standings. Not sure how up to date you are of the standings. You got Bullard 9-2, Chapel Hill and Lindale tied at 7-3, Kilgore at 5-6, Henderson at 4-6, Spring Hill at 3-7, and Cumberland at 1-9. So that's the most recent district standings. Cumberland actually beats Spring Hill. Then Spring Hill goes and beats Kilgore. Kilgore beats Lindale. Lindale beats Bullard. Bullard beats us. I don't know what to tell you. It just shows a show that any given night, anybody can beat anybody in this district.
That's what it looks like. And Kilgore crept up in that number 4 spot. So
they're hanging on by a thread right now. Henderson and Kilgore split. So right now, Henderson's got a tough finish. I believe they end. I know that we have them Friday night senior night for the Bulldogs, and then they'll play, I believe, maybe Bullard the last game. So they've got a tough finish there. Kilgore played the tough part of their schedule in the first half of the district, so that's kind of why they get split up and then they kind of come back together. So you got to imagine. I think Kilgore's last game is against Cumberland, if I remember correctly. And so they're probably going to pick up the win and go to 6-6. Most likely take that 4th spot. Henderson had a chance, but they just didn't beat the teams that they needed to beat. Kilgore's got wins over Lindale and Bullard, and that's really the difference. They beat the teams ahead of them, and Henderson's not able to do so. So we talk about that, and I did a little research today on the district that will be opposite of us for the playoffs. That's the Paris district. We've talked a little bit about it. You don't want to be in that 4th spot because Paris is a very good team. You've got Paris at 9-0, Liberty Allo at 6-3. Those 2 teams have locked those positions. They're going to be in the playoffs. Then you've got a fight for 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Pittsburgh, Pleasant Grove, and North Lamar are all tied at 4 and 5, and they're going into their last game coming up this Friday. So in a couple of days, they'll be in their district. I guess a game earlier than our district. You've got Gilmer at Paris. So that's basically Gilmer has not won a game. Paris has won all. So that's basically a wash. You figure Paris is probably going to blow that out. The other 2 games are what's going to come down to. You've got North Lamar at Liberty Allo. Liberty Allo is favored in that game as they are number 2 seed. And you've got Pitt at Pleasant Grove. And so I've got some to give a shout out to Tim Taylor, I believe is his name. He covers the district on Twitter. So if you want to follow that district, you can follow him there. He put out some scenarios. So here's the scenarios for District 15 4A. Pleasant Grove clinches 3rd place with a win versus Pitt. It's easy. If Pleasant Grove wins and North Lamar wins, then Pleasant Grove is 3rd and North Lamar is 4th. Pitt wins and North Lamar wins, and North Lamar and Pitt tie for 3rd. Pleasant Grove's out. Pitt wins and North Lamar loses, then Pitt's in, Pleasant Grove. So the most likely of the scenarios, if you're looking by what the standings are, is Liberty Allo would knock out North Lamar. That pretty much eliminates them. And then you got Pitt and Pleasant Grove going in.
Yeah.
So,
which
any
is
scenarios with the loss with the NL loss is pretty much the other games just for 3rd and 4th.
Yeah, I mean, of course, Paris is the big dogs there. Liberty Allo is pretty decent. I'm interested to see how well they've, since last year. They always typically make a good playoff run in football, but basketball last year they were similar to us, just less basketball savviness, but they
had good athletes.
Yeah, they got good athletes, so that's always and they could have improved since the last year. So that's off to them. But PG is normally pretty good. I'm surprised, and Pittsburgh is normally pretty good too. So I'm
So in that
interested to see how.
aspect, now it's going to be interesting now because Chapel Hill and Lindale are now tied. With Lindale, Lindale's already played Kilgore, Bullard. They've all played the top teams. So both teams, in theory, should win the last 2. It'll be interesting to see if they flip a coin or if they play off like the girls. Now, I'll lean more towards a playoff just because the 3rd place team, I believe, they're going to get Liberty Allo, which is probably a lot tougher opponent than these other 2 down here. So it may be more than, I don't know. What do you think, Corey?
Yeah.
If you're Coach Johnson, do you play a game, or do you, after what happened last time playing Lindale?
I mean, well, yeah, I definitely want to play a game, and it would definitely have to be at a neutral site. I would probably, want to do it at TJC. you know,
Wagstaff. Yeah, that's what I was kind of thinking.
or UT Tyler, and have a nice little playoff game, and that'll commemorate the district because we'd lose them next year in district. So that'd be a good one to kind of go. That'd be a good one. But I would want to do that. That's me being competitive. You know, I want to go out there and see what my team is made of, and I want to go out there and compete. I'm always looking to compete and come out with a
Yep.
good game plan and go forward. So that's
Let
me.
me play devil's advocate with you. Not to say that I don't agree with you, but just on the other hand, Chapel Hill is playing 8 players right now. We don't know the status of Demetrius Brisbane and when he can return. Do you risk getting someone injured in a game like that, or do you just take the coin flip and just hope for the best? And then, not, because we've had a couple injuries. You've got Chetland coming off an injury. You've got Brisbane right now. We had Kelly out at one point. It was just a wisdom tooth, wasn't injured, but just with not carrying very many guys. Now, playoffs, they may bring some guys up off the JV. So, but you don't want to have to be forced with playing guys that have been playing on JV all year. Even though we've got some guys that can probably step in, you wouldn't want to get in that position with an injury. So I don't know. It's just it's one of those things like, there's goods and bads from both sides.
So you got to think about it like this. How many games did they lose because of the playoff run in football? So they lost maybe 10, 12 games. And so they don't have 10, 12 games in them at this point. They played some tournament games and had some practices. So it's a good opportunity to get some more playing time too. And then as well, it's an extra game. You already know you're in the playoffs regardless. But, like I said, as a competitor, I want to see what type of fight my team has. We let some games slip away, and I'd go for it. That's me. I already know I'm in the playoffs. It's whatever, but it's analytics versus human nature. Analytics is gonna say, "Oh, you take a coin. You flip a coin, and let's play for it. Bump that. Let's play for it. We're gonna go head to head. Let's play for it."
Our Swiss Army knife of the Bulldog Sports Network, Mr. Vincent Johnson. He is our newest Swiss Army knife. Peace. How's it going, Vince?
What's up, fellas?
He don't even get that. He doesn't get the Swiss Army knife.
Man, don't even talk to me about the cell phones right now.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Yeah. Yeah. They got it working. I'll tell you that.
That's all that matters.
That's right. How much?
I know.
Close to getting out of character.
How many credits did you get? Did you get some credit back?
Nah, but I'm about to talk to them about that tomorrow.
Money. Yeah, you should ask for some money. So
I'm about to talk to them about that tomorrow.
So Vincent Johnson is the we got him itching that scratch now. He's now addicted to basketball. We have him. He's been these last 2 games. Vince, what do you think about the basketball season? You call it a third straight game for Vincent Johnson?
I don't know. I'm gonna try to make it. I gotta go out of town to work, so I don't know what time I'll be back. Is my problem.
So I gotta ask Vince this, and I think I know what he's gonna say at this point. So Vince, if you had a choice of a coin flip or an actual playoff game for a tiebreaker,
game, ain't even no question, absolute game. Why would I flip the coin?
Well, I was just playing devil's advocate with Corey a while ago. Being kind of thin right now on the bench, do you risk playing a game and possibly getting someone hurt, or with the likeliness of the rivalry with Lindale, some altercation, get somebody another suspension game, and you lose them for a playoff game?
Oh wait, it's with Lindale too, right?
Yeah,
I'm playing. Want that
game? Oh yeah.
I know you want the game.
Game. I want that. I want to put them down again.
I want that small at a neutral site.
Yeah.
At a neutral site, absolutely.
Man. Especially, and your fans walked out last time. Come on, I'm about to ball. Yeah,
we're bringing up 4 or 5 JV guys.
You bring them crybabies with you.
I like crybabies with you. I'm saying I have the same. I would do the same thing. I would want to
No,
play it.
I
I just
understand.
wanted to.
I have to do that sometimes when that's so dope. I just have to play. I was just saying that the last recording we had. I said, let me just play devil's advocate here real quick. So
But yeah,
yeah,
that's, we were just
I
we were
can
just talking about this.
understand some people wanting to do coin flip. Like you said, Brett, like in cases where you may not have a full team yet that's ready to play. It's like just take your chances instead of throwing out only 7 guys on the floor, hoping to win a game against a full crew. I guess if that's the case, but I don't feel like that's us. And besides, it's Lindale, so yeah, I'm gonna play.
You
Well, we were
don't
just
you
talking
don't
about.
want to. I was gonna say you don't want to go into the. That's the other thing too. You don't want to go into the playoffs with an L, with a loss, or leave it up to chance. You could go out there and get a win. Like you feel like you deserve to win. That's a good measure. That's a good measuring stick for your team too. It's like
Mhm.
it bodes well as far as the psyche. Like let's go ahead and get over this hump.
Yeah,
Because a lot,
I was gonna say like
a lot can go wrong, but a lot
it's
can go
gonna
good.
build that game is gonna build your momentum. It's gonna build your confidence, your self esteem, and that might be the reason why somebody get hot, and that might start that run.
Yep.
So, yeah, I'll play it.
All right, we were just talking about matching up against the district across 15 4A, and basically it's Paris at 1 seed, Liberty Islo at 2, and then you've got a 3-way tie for third. A bunch of different scenarios, but bottom line is Chapel Hill gets the 3rd seed. They'll play Liberty Islo first. That's locked, and if they get the 2nd seed, then they'll play either uh, Pleasant Grove, uh, Pitt, or North Lamar, the other district. So now Liberty Islo is who we beat last year in the first round, except they were the 3rd seed, I believe, because we were second behind Lindale last year. So we'll be interesting to see. I can't remember how many players that they had that would have been returning. So be interesting to see how we match up with them this year. But we also were talking about the game change, and hopefully we can get someone there. Right now, I'm the only one that can be there, so I'm hoping I can find some help for Friday night's game
Yeah, I
in
thought that
Spring
game was
Hill.
at home. I would have had more time. Like I
Yeah,
Yeah,
don't know what I was thinking.
was thinking too.
I thought
I'm
it,
thinking it was. I think it was
yeah.
all emotionally
And
riled
again,
up after
I don't
the
mind
game.
going. I just don't know. I don't know yet what time I will get off. Like right now, my days are pretty stretched long because I technically I'm on like a weird shift where I work 4 10-hour shifts. And then
yeah,
on Saturday, I'm kind of like a manager on call type. So
yeah,
I normally like today I got off and I think it was like 5:30 something. You know what I'm saying? And
yeah.
all I went to was Maybank and Athens and a couple of and Big Sandy and stuff. But Friday, I'm gonna be in Lufkin and then I gotta go to Nacogdoches.
Well,
So
you'll be
Okay.
that'll
that kind of that direction. You could come
yeah.
up.
But I'd have to I wouldn't be able to I would be in, company vehicle. I wouldn't be able to I'd have to come back to Best Buy to the store to get my own vehicle and then go out to what's the name?
Oh, yeah,
You see what I'm
yeah.
saying?
Right
So
now, yeah, right now. If there's anybody, we're gonna try to reach out. If there's anybody that can help us Friday night, shoot me a message. Because I'm gonna be probably leaving straight from the school. Get off at 4:30 and go straight over there. I have to try to set up everything and then have someone to work the camera. And there won't be
yeah,
another game there to grab a student. So maybe my man
somebody.
Grayson can help me if he's listening. Uh, but
Okay,
yeah,
let me
it'll be a
address this.
tough tale.
James is wrote over here, and I caught this last time too, but I didn't say nothing. James, stop telling people I sold you a bad TV. I don't sell TVs. I fix TVs. Tell them the truth. I fixed your TV is what I did.
Oh
I'm gonna need a
man.
head.
Tell them the
Hey,
truth.
James said he needs a headset Friday night.
Oh Lord
Hey,
have mercy.
James, if you're at the game, man, I'll put you at the table with me. I just need you there to help me get set up.
Hey, wait a minute. I don't know if that's all.
James, you gonna put James on the mic?
Uh,
He gonna cut up.
Let's see. James said he would take his chances on the floor instead of a coin flip, kind of like us.
Yeah.
Jeremy says no, sir, to something. I'm not sure
I think
what
it was a
that's referring to.
tiebreaker.
Oh, the tiebreaker.
I think it was the tiebreaker.
He said he's got me. I can't do it because I cussed.
Oh,
much.
yeah, no, he said he got you. He gonna come do it.
Hey, so but I could sure use you a camera. You can video. You don't have to. You don't have to be on the mic. You can video. I could use somebody to video the game.
Well, there was definitely some moments
the
last
Lindale
night
game. No
where
sir to the Lindale game.
I got quiet towards the end.
So is Jeremy saying he wouldn't play?
That's what I'm reading it. No, sir, to the Lindale game.
So Jeremy, you're saying you would take the coin flip over playing Lindale again? Let us know, because that's interesting. I'd like to know. I'd like to know what your perspective is
about the coin flip. So
go ahead.
With the coin flip or playing a game, this is for what place? Third?
Second and third.
Second and third. Okay. All right.
He said take the coin flip. Jeremy, we're just curious. What's your reasoning behind taking the flip? We like to get another opinion.
Yeah. Let us know why you take the coin flip.
I mean, it's a lot.
Yeah, like I said, it's just
reason. And the injury, like I said, injury is one. You don't want to.
Did we ever get a understand? Was Brisbane? Did he hurt his leg or anything like that, or is he gonna be available for this coming game?
Right now, it's undisclosed injury. They don't know exactly.
Okay, so he ain't ready to come back yet.
No,
I don't. Okay. I haven't heard anything, but he says save everything for the playoffs and go all in.
Okay. I mean, I ain't disputing that. Yeah.
Kind of on the same lines that I was kind of playing devil's advocate with it, as far as it's a lot of risk. If this was 3 and 4, and you were either going to play Liberty Isle or Paris, now maybe you don't want to take the risk of a flip. You want to try to play that game off. In my opinion, that might be more of an incentive to play it. I know the girls are playing it because it's a big difference between their season. We'll talk about that here in a minute. Where they're placed on the bracket. Now, as far as they go, they will be playing. They'll either be the second or third seed. Winner takes second this Friday night. And if you didn't hear us, we will have the game. Maybe James might be on camera for us. So anybody that's going to be there that would be able to help, that'd be great. Set up and tear down and working the camera, any of that stuff is always appreciated. I want to give the girls some love. We haven't been able to cover them as much this year, covering the boys, and so definitely want to give this girl some love. We will have their playoff game next week whenever that game is scheduled as well. So shout out to the girls for their great season.
Definitely not that we didn't want to on Friday. It's more of a scheduling conflict. So at this point,
we're and that's some of the things that we're working on. Like I said, stay tuned. We've got some things coming down the pipe. Some exciting stuff that we're talking about. So but we're definitely going to need the support to continue. And if you're interested in helping step up.
I don't know. Like I don't know.
Yeah, they were giving me a hard time today. They were.
Somebody, what are you talking about?
At school today, I came down. I was looking for Coach Riley, trying to find out the game time for Friday, and they kind of gave me the cold shoulder a little bit. Gave me a hard time about now. I want to come to the game and cover it. So that's all right. I'll take it. I'm still gonna be there.
So there's a little competition in between who gets the coverage.
Yeah. Hey, and here's the thing, and it's not anything personal.
I know.
We just don't have enough people. So if we have more people that want to step up and volunteer, then we'd love to cover everybody, because we want the girls and boys both to succeed. Like I said, I have one of each at home. Vince has got a daughter. I
Mhm.
mean, it's hard covering everybody. So we're gonna try to give them some love here. And again, we're working on some stuff. So stay
I
tuned.
want to say, I don't know. That coin flip thing in the game. Like you know, I'm always knowing me. Like I want to see what my team is made. You know what I'm saying? Like I really would want to see what my team is made of. You know,
Mhm.
and it's I know we lost some games before. I got it. And it's not to say we're gonna go harder, in this game in particular, but you know, it is a playoff game. It's a playoff seeding. Like it's for a seeding because
Let me let me let me ask you this though, Corey.
I don't want to lead to the point in time where because I have a philosophy. I can't coach fear. I don't want you to be afraid to play. Like, no, let's go play. Let's go. You never know what that's like. I don't want to because you can save everything that you have and still get beat by 20 the next week. But if you
Yeah,
go beat they behind, you prep. This team outplayed you before. You outplayed them before. Let's go get that win. Let's see what type of team. And then of course I leave it in the hands of the team. Do you want to play them again? Because we can play them again.
Marshall,
Or,
Coach Marshall,
we flip a coin. I don't know. I'm getting, I'm
Coach
riled up,
Marshall.
man.
You getting
I
riled
like
up? You starting to sweat over there?
no, it ain't never that. 'Cause I
Let
like
me
to.
ask you a
That's just
question
me.
though.
That's just me. I
Let,
like to.
let me ask you a question. And like I said,
Yeah.
I don't care either way, but I know I would rather play. Um, if
I see
they
the
were to
logic.
play and lose, if they were to play and lose, do you feel like that would hurt their confidence? Do you feel like you can bounce back from that loss? I guess.
Could you bounce back from that loss? Yeah, you can bounce back from that loss
Okay.
because what's the consolation? You still in the playoffs.
You are
It's
still in the
not.
playoffs.
It's
You're
not
right.
like.
You're right.
It's not like you win a loss.
But
It's
again,
the seeding.
I'm talking about just the confidence. There's a
Yeah.
lot of there's a
So
lot of confidence that's built with each win. You
so
know,
here's what I'm.
go ahead.
So here's what I'm looking at. Here's what I'm looking at. It's not so much as win or loss for me. I want to see us compete. I want to see us play our best game. I want to see us play our best basketball at that point. It's the
Okay.
playoffs. I don't, if you played half ace before and you played half ace before,
Hmm.
I need your if you think if you want to continue to keep playing the playoffs, let me see your best basketball. I need that. And I need that challenge from you. That's how
Okay.
I look at it. And it's a motivational tactic. It's not we're afraid because you play in the playoffs, man, I won't be afraid to play anybody. If it's Paris or number one team in the state, who cares? As you saw by article, we can't beat it. Number one team in the state can lose.
They
But
can.
I can't I don't want to get to the point in time where to me it's one of those teachable moments, it's a coaching moment. I want to get my team. I want to see how my team responds to it, bro. I want to see how they respond to it. That's me. So I don't know, man. It just that's just me. I get riled up about that, and I want to see. I just want to see. I want to see my team succeed, but unless that would let me know what they're made of as a team and how hungry they are. I don't want them. We'll leave it up to analytics, and you got some kids that ain't worry about that. I want to go, man. Let's go. It's playoff time, man. Let's get that. So, but yeah,
I feel you.
that's me.
I feel you. Okay.
Oh man, but yeah, I've already talked to Demario Murphy. His daughter's on the team. He's going to be watching us on the stream, so he's unable to be there, and so yeah. Let's see. We got James again here. He said extra games, and the girls think we do. Yeah, he's right. The girls are a lot deeper.
Yeah.
Girls go 10, 11 deep. We've
That's a
seen them
good point.
play several times this year. They can throw in another 5 and not drop a whole lot. Boys, right now only have 8 with Brisbane status unknown, and so that's kind of the thing I was thinking of. Do you save their energy and their legs and possibly getting them injured, give them that break and get them, I don't know. It's a tough decision. I think me personally, I take the flip unless if there's not a big difference in the teams. Like if you're playing two teams and you think there's not much, or there's a spot in the bracket. Like you look at the bracket and it doesn't matter which part of the bracket. There's no difference. If there's no Paris in the part of the bracket, or there's no family or something like that. That's like you would have to play them earlier, obviously. And Corey's going to say, well, you can't avoid them, but you can put them farther down the line.
Yeah. So you could build some momentum. I agree. I understand.
It's like I said, it's good and bad. It depends on what it is, and there's a lot of ifs, ands, and buts. But I just feel
too.
Like I said, I just feel like there's a time. So.
Yeah.
So, but I feel
it's going to be interesting too with these girls. They've played each other like twice in 1 week. Will be interesting. What adjustments and things. I know Coach Riley and his group was working on film today as I went down and that's when I was trying to get an insight on when the game was going to be and where. And girls kind of gave me a hard time. They kind of gave me a cold shoulder when I went in the room. I'm sure they were all kind of chuckling under their breath at me. But that's all right. I still support the girls. And we'll be there. We'll be there covering them no matter what. But I just thought it was funny. They were breaking down the film and going over each play like, okay, where was the rebound there? We gave a rebound. Who should have been attacking the rebound? Thing coming off picks, or they didn't pick up their girl, or they didn't switch, or they didn't stay with their man. Things like that they broke down just in the few minutes that I was in there. And so they're already looking to improve on a 20-point win, and that shows a lot right there. They're not satisfied. Boy's going to come out and make some adjustments. So they've got to do the things that they didn't do correctly the first game that maybe Bullard sees that they can take advantage of. Got to clean that stuff up. So they're already on top of it, working off film. So
film is important. Film don't lie. The sky don't lie.
Hopefully we'll win them back here by covering them for a few games here and give them some support. We love our Lady Bulldogs just like we do the Bulldogs. So they've done a great job this season. Coach Riley in his second season. I'd like to see them get over that hump though, get past that first round. They've kind of hit that same wall the last couple of years. And
if they do play Brownsboro, you know what? Let's beat them. If they whoever they play, let's beat them, man. And I can't, like I said, you can't coach fear. If you're afraid to play, I can't play. You know what I'm saying? I don't care who. Yeah, they go to practice just like we do. Doesn't matter. You get your game plan together. You come out and you play, and may the best person win, man or woman. Doesn't matter. But you stick to your game plan. You get a good game plan. Stick to that. Make some adjustments, and then keep going. But you got to play. It has to be your best basketball possible at that moment. And I want them to, and you and I, y'all the same way. We want them to get to that point where they see success, because success is contagious. Winning is contagious, and it really is contagious.
So here's what the girls are playing for. Okay, so the winner will play down at the very bottom of the bracket. They will take on North Lamar, and y'all can look up North Lamar. I don't really have them pulled up, but you might want to look at that district and see kind of what they look like. The bracket would include Sunnyvale, Van, us, and North Lamar if they were to win the game Friday night. Now, if they were to lose, they would go up and play Liberty Ilo, and then the top pod above them, I guess you'd call it one of those pods, would be Brownsboro and Kaufman. That's where I'm saying that's why this game's important to me. It's not the first game. I don't know that there's much difference in North Lamar and Liberty Ilo. There might be, but there's more difference than having Brownsboro earlier. We know Coach Durham, the former Chapel Hill coach, has got them rolling this season. I believe they've only lost 2 games. And so they are going to be a tough out. So if you can put them off for a few games, maybe get a couple of wins and get on the roll, pick up this win against Bullard, maybe win a couple of games. Now you've got a little win streak going, some confidence. Now you're stepping against Brownsboro. And that's going to be a big game. That's more of a rivalry than you think now, just because of the fact that it's is that Corey? Is it Uncle Mo?
It is Uncle Mo. Hey.
Oh, he's coming to say hi.
He said he will be in Spring Hill Friday. So okay, I appreciate that. I appreciate that.
Hang up the
See,
phone.
listen, Uncle Mo. Listen, there's nothing like Uncle Mo. When Uncle Mo is available, you make him feel as comfortable as possible. If you don't know who Uncle Mo is, it's Uncle Momentum. Momentum is at.
You hadn't watched enough of our shows if you don't know who Uncle Mo is.
Not at all. You when Uncle Mo is in town, you let him stay as long as he wants.
Unless you're wearing a Miami Heat. Unless you're wearing a Miami Heat.
Unless
you're wearing a Miami Heat hat. Unless you're wearing a Miami Heat hat.
Let me tell you what Momentum is like. 49ers.
I'm just
Momentum. The 49ers. They
49ers.
They beat the Rams.
I thought that momentum was over.
No. Hey, but you know what? It took them all the way to the NFC Championship.
Uncle Mo gave Uncle Joe a call, and he's sitting in the Cincinnati now.
Oh wow,
that's a better comparison right there.
But I mean, I'm just saying, not to get off track. I'm just saying, Uncle Mo's letting everybody know he's in town. Got good momentum, some good 20-point wins, so good for your mental psyche. Now let's turn it into momentum. Let's keep it going. Play your best basketball. I'm on there.
Yeah, so that'll be a good way to get rolling. Then if you get a couple of wins, then you play Brownsboro round 3. Like I was saying, it's a natural rivalry with the coaches the way it is. Like, Coach Riley replaced Coach Durham. Coach Durham had a strong program when he was here. They were always a solid team. Now he's got into a program at Brownsboro, which is I don't want to call them, it's not a national power, but they're a state power in basketball. I'd say the girls are. They're consistently ranked every year, and they go far in the playoffs pretty much every year. You got another tie to this game. Our old football coach, Coach Hooker's daughter, plays on Brownsboro. So, he would be in the stands. So that would be interesting. Probably he would want to beat Chapel Hill, I would imagine, after not having a very successful run here and moved on to other games. But, that's just an extra. I mean, that kind of game, that's the kind of game I want to be at.
Absolutely.
Brownsboro, Chapel Hill, third round.
You played at Athens
with a game on the line to get to Commerce, the airplane hangar.
Of all the gyms I've been to and the arenas I've been to, I've never been to the Commerce.
You've never been. Oh, Corey, it's a amazing atmosphere. Like, you wouldn't think it just looks like some airplane hangar. Yeah. It's not. It's just I guess it's just the atmosphere in there. I mean, it just gets so loud, and it's just. Vince, tell me you've been to the airplane hangar.
No,
he hadn't. Maybe this is the year. Maybe one of our teams make it to the airplane hangar. We follow them all the way on Texan Live.
Maybe
there we go. Maybe next year we'll cover some games.
I think. Give me. I think Jeremy had some success in the airplane hangar. I think they made it all the way to the regional final in the airplane hangar.
Yeah, they had some big success. Yeah, I recall that game in what they played in Trinity Valley. I remember that game. Played Wilma Hutchins in Trinity Valley. I remember that one. That was a game they weren't supposed to win. They ended up winning.
What happened was, Corey, you graduated, and then they went to the airplane hangar.
Yeah, that's what happened. I told Coach Johnson that. I said that after everything everything we did, everything I'm here for, they'll go now. But it happens. I'm still happy for them. And that was the day. But you know what happened? Like I said, winning is contagious. Those guys got a chance to win. They knew what it took to win. And not only did they win that, they beat Van, they beat Wilma Hutchins. They had a very good run. And I wouldn't say that team. That team wasn't stacked. That team was like the 0-1 team.
That was like I was going to say. It's kind of like our team. They had a lot of depth. There wasn't like, Jeremy was probably the go-to inside, but they had a lot of pieces around him. And had Bragg and did Shattuck play with that guy? Did Shattuck play with him? Was he? I don't know. They had a lot of pieces. I can't remember exactly who was on that team, but I followed. I mean, obviously, because Drew didn't play, I still give him a hard time about that. He could have been on that team. He didn't play his senior year, and so I knew a lot of those guys because they were Drew's age.
There's a bunch of seniors that year.
And it was, I think I want to say that was unexpected run.
Yeah.
Shattuck was on there. I thought so. So I think it was unexpected because of the fact that the last couple years, we kind of started it with going a couple of rounds deep at my senior year, and then the next couple of years, they weren't under the radar as much, more expected to, and got knocked out earlier than they were planning on leaving, and so. Once that group graduated with Gatewood and Kenton, Warren, that they weren't expected to do anything that year, really. Maybe win a game or two, and they just went on a run and just got hot. Yeah.
Yep.
What they said they weren't picked. So they weren't picked to win anything.
The funniest thing was I remember that game because I'd actually rode with it was my first year at TJC, obviously. And Coach Jeff Moore, shout out to Coach Jeff Moore, he was like, let's go to Athens. Like, what are you talking about? Yeah, we just go to Athens. We'll go to see if we can recruit somebody, I'm like, he's like, let's go. And it was right after practice. I'm like, what are you doing? Let's go to Athens. Like, right now? It's like, they playing right now? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, he's like, let's go. And we rode to Athens. And we watched it. I remember because it was like, I think we came at like halftime and it was right at the tail end of the game. And I was like, man, they're winning this game. This is dope. I mean, I wanted to cheer and stuff, but I don't think I talked to the guys or nothing after the game, but I remember that game. That was a good one. That was a good one. I couldn't remember watching the game in the beginning, but I remember going there late toward the end. And watching the game play out. But I'm like, how did I get to the game? I rode with Coach Moore that day. I'll never forget.
Yeah,
Quasi recruiting
Coach
trip
Moore.
there.
Yeah, that was a fun year.
It really was.
That was the first of, I guess they started. Then after that, the next couple of years they visited back there. That was kind of right before the Riley Mass era came through. It was the next group that came through, and so I made frequent trips to the airplane hangar there for a while, following the team. Be cool to go back and call a game there. Would be a lot of fun.
Really did.
And Jeremy
absolutely, Jeremy.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure he did some unconventional things.
Shout out to Coach Johnson.
With non-seniors, I know he was just letting y'all go out. I know he was just letting y'all go out. With non-seniors, man, he was just, he was letting it go. But yeah, I'm pretty sure it was fun. That was fun, man. But those games, that's what I was talking about. Yeah, like games like that, like I want that for those kids. Like they deserve to be in games. Like every game is packed. The game last night was a playoff atmosphere.
I remember the two Wills Point games we played, and that gym, man, those were loud. We played. I think they played the first game. We played in Lindale, I think, or no, we played at Lee. We played Henderson at Lee the first round. Then we played Lindale. We played Sulphur Springs, I think, in Lindale the second game. That game at my last game ever there. It's Highland Park. Now look at that. Now, if y'all look at they're like 6A now.
Yeah.
I mean, that just shows like the change of the cities within the last 20 years. I mean, and looking at who we could have played, Chris Bosch if we'd have won, Lincoln. It's just kind of crazy the way that happened.
Absolutely.
James is going to go ahead and say it, and Corey said it last night. We can't miss that many from the line and expect to win.
Yeah.
There was the percentage last night, 3 of 14.
Yep.
I mean, and
They
Bullard was
were
like
10 of, we were 3 of 15. They were 10 of 14.
10 of 14. So, yeah, that's the difference right there in the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jeremy saw our games are packed out. They were. That's when nobody else you didn't do anything else. What was it? You went to the football game if you didn't play football. Then once basketball season, if you didn't play basketball, you went to the basketball games and supported your fellow peers. That's just the way it was then. Everybody went, it was packed house. Of course, you had the girls and boys playing at different locations, kind of like it is now, and the games were still packed. So it just shows the difference in
the only game that wasn't like that, and I don't know if they just did this special. The only game that wasn't like that was, of course, Chapel Hill and White House at TJC. Like the girls and the boys played on the same night.
Well, they probably want to pay for TJC 2 nights.
Right. Well, that's true because I mean, and I'll never forget that. Coach Meredith is coming through the tunnel, and the guys is at the bottom of the tunnel, and the girls beat White House that night too. And Coach Meredith was like, "Give him hell." I'm like, "Yeah, let's go." And then you go out there, and if you've ever been on the court at TJC, it's electric. Full house at TJC, man. It's nice. It's nice.
Great times.
Yeah.
It's sad that these guys probably have never played at TJC.
Now that you say that, that is true.
Or UT Tyler, I bet they've never played there either. Any of this crew, the girls or boys, I don't think.
Yeah, and that's magic. I mean, just to get a chance to play at TJC. I know it doesn't. I know it doesn't seem like much. I know we just sound like a bunch of old guys talking about it. It's a vibe. It's different. It's different, man. It's different. This is before. Yeah, I would. Let me answer. No, this is before she was in high school. This is my freshman year.
Are y'all not in the same grade?
No.
She's the same age as Drew.
Yeah.
Oh, wait.
Yeah.
Drew ain't even in y'all. Okay. All right.
Drew, Drew and Drew, Jeremy, and Asher are on the same.
They a year behind you, Corey.
This was 2000. Yeah, this is 2000.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is the last time they were in district.
That was Silas' senior year.
Yeah, that was Silas, Nick, Nick, Bubba, Destin, Brett, Brett, Zoe.
Ponder.
Yeah. JP,
Ponder.
Yeah.
Oh, Joe. Man, I ain't seen him
probably
in
the best team that I can remember that didn't make the playoffs, but we all know what happened with that. That was in Pine Tree.
Pine Tree. We got hosed out there in Pine Tree.
They went to Chapel Hill and it came down to it. Good God, Pine Tree was
there wasn't like everybody didn't make the playoffs back then. It was only 2. So, if it had been like now, everybody makes it. We'd have made it, that year and the year before probably. Because I don't think they made it the year before. My sophomore year, I don't think they made it either. Because our senior year was the first year that we'd made it.
I want to say that year they made it all the way to Austin that year, if I'm not mistaken. That team was good. That team was legit. Pine Tree. Either the year before or the year after. That year or the year before they made it to like the state tournament.
I was talking about our team. I think that was the first year. We made the playoffs my 8th grade year when it was Charles Davis and Bostic and that group. Shout out to Charles. His son's doing really well at Troop. I kind of wish he was in the blue and gold, but it's okay. It's okay. Mm-hmm. He's doing well in Troop, so give him some love. I think he had a couple of clips the other night. He had a couple of big shots at the end, and brought Troop back after a rough night. So shout out to him. Yeah, I think that year they went and won, and then I think since we were in high school until our senior year, I don't think anybody else made the playoffs.
Yeah.
Again, that was only 2 teams allowed, so it's a lot tougher. But
Yep. It
so,
leveled the playing field a little bit, but when you got
mhm.
in, at least we didn't get in and just was out in the first round.
Oh no, we weren't gonna do
That's the
that.
consolation prize. You don't want to go in and just get out in the first round.
No, no.
No, you at least going three. You at least going three teams. 3 rounds deep. But that was once again. That was like I said. That's a competitive thing. Like I don't want to just go. The standard was already set. We're not going to. Oh, we happy we made the playoffs. Forget that. We're competing. If you're gonna beat us, you're gonna have to beat us.
Yeah.
Like that's how we're not gonna beat ourselves. You're gonna have to beat us. Like the Lancaster game. Oh, that we didn't beat ourselves. Like Tay G played. God, you couldn't tell me he wasn't going to the pros after that game. He played great. Man. He didn't have any fear. Because Lancaster was like number. I mean, it was a top 5 matchup that night. You know what I'm saying? Because I think we were like number 6. Lancaster was like number 2, and it was a lot of D1 scouts at that game. And I think Kenton ended up with like 23. I could be wrong, 23 or 27.
Well, that's the thing. That's the sad thing. I don't think anybody off that team except Kenton played college ball, did they? Did anybody else play? I don't think anybody else did.
College?
Which is-
No.
Not that year. Not that year, I don't think.
I don't think because now Gatewood went, but he didn't went for football, not for basketball. So
Terrell played great that game. Terrell played great. Jermaine was, shout out to Jermaine. Jermaine was undersized. He was an undersized 5. But Jermaine is just strong anyway.
Well, he kind of had some of those similar things that I used to do. Like he did the little things. He just he was one of those pesky guys that would block you out and make you come over the top. Not a great shooter, but enough of a threat where you had to guard him out. He had that little weird windup, if I can remember correctly. It was kind of a weird.
But he did. It wasn't shooting wasn't his thing. He rebound.
I forgot he even played basketball.
Had to play great defense.
He could hit a shot if he was open, so it still made you have to go out.
Yeah,
but because if you were playing the post guy, usually you don't have to. I mean, back then there wasn't as much the big guy shooting. I mean that evolution is changed a little bit since we were in school, with the the Dirk Nowitzki mold, but yeah. Hey, Silas was one of those that could play that.
Man, his shot was on. Destin's shot was on.
And you couldn't it's hard to block it too because he pulled it like way up high. His like 8-foot arms.
Yeah,
it's tough to block it.
We
got a couple of chats here. James, that's my best friend.
Talking about Jermaine.
Yeah,
Tay had to mess up. Man, Tay, I never knew he just pulled that thing. He like pulled like a
but man, it was when it was going, it was going,
and it was spinning sideways. And I never I'm
gonna tell you like that the backcourt with Tay and Zoe, they probably had 500 steals if it just that year alone. Like it wasn't but just them alone, Jesus. Still, Zoe's arms alone anyway. And then Tay get it loose, and Tay didn't have to. He didn't have to. It wasn't a whole bunch of games he was gonna turn the ball over. Man, just bucket wide open, and he was streaky. Wasn't a whole bunch of shots like that because everyone know where the money was going to Kenton. And the offense was ran, it was going to Kenton, and Tate just managed the game. He was the best version of CP3 that year. I'm just gonna manage the game, get my shots when I need to get my shots, and play defense. And boy,
that year before, who knows if Kenton had not failed? Who knows if we could have? Yeah. I mean,
I don't know if anybody remembers I don't know if anybody remembers the game in Terrell. I know probably Jeremy remembers the game in Terrell. He made the game-winning shot, and it was on the pin down play. He comes up, makes a shot, and we just go nuts. Like it was one of the best shots. Nobody was at the game. Like nobody traveled to Terrell. That was the last time we played till I can remember. And man, and Terrell was just, it was one of those games it was just back and forth, back and forth. And then the crowd was giving us hell there, and then just bucket, pin down,
Yeah,
boom.
we had a weird district. It was like what Corsicana, Terrell, Jacksonville, Palestine.
Mhm.
Who else was
I
in
remember
there?
Jacksonville, but then again, we beat everybody because
Palestine is my most memorable. Unfortunately, the most memorable moment of high school basketball.
What happened in
Kenton Warren had to
Palestine?
walk out in some Palestine sweat it's because they stole his
they
clothes.
robbed everything, man. They robbed us.
I had
They got
probably now y'all know how techie I am, and I carried
yeah,
everything in the kitchen sink to those games to ride on the bus. Probably shouldn't have, but I had a Tommy Hilfiger bag with like back in the day they were like it was like they're not MP3, but it was like those discs. They weren't tapes, but
yeah.
they were discs,
I
and
know
I
what you're
could
talking about. They were the
record. I could
smaller discs.
record off. Yeah,
Yeah,
and
those
I
were
could record.
Those were MP3s too.
So
Or
basically, you just popped them in, and you could have so much space on it.
yeah, it had
I
way
had the
more
one,
space than the bigger disc did. It
like
was
I
a
was the
data
only
disc.
one. I was one of those. I was the only one that had that. And no one else had one of those things. I brought it with me. I had my track phone that was like my prepaid phone. My page. I think I think they stole everything that I had there.
Yeah. Oh,
They,
My
they
mom
made a lick that night.
and we
They made a
never
lick.
and we got a lick of insurance money of any of that stuff back either. Like, oh
they
yeah,
got
we're gonna report that. Oh yeah, we'll
Oh, they
let y'all.
said that to make y'all feel better, stop y'all from crying.
So I had to write down everything that we had, and yeah,
oh man, that was
he
rough. That
remembered
was rough.
Terrell, Jacksonville, Corsicana. Yeah, that's
Who it was? Terrell, Jacksonville, Corsicana, Chapel Hill.
Palestine. Was Athens in there?
I
Yeah.
don't want to what it
Yeah, I
was
think
Henderson.
Yeah.
Athens.
It was
Athens
We
was
all
Henderson.
in
had the
there.
same
No,
district
no,
then.
Henderson wasn't the same district because we played them in by district. Remember, my senior year, we played the two twins, the Jackson twins. Were on
Jackson.
Henderson. We played them in by district and beat them
Was
because
it?
they're actually they're at the same dentist office now that I go to. They're both dentists, and they work with my cousin's husband's, who's my dentist, and they have a Henderson. So I give them a hard time every time I see them. I have to give them a hard time that we did beat them out senior year, knocked them out of the playoffs. They were the Jackson brothers. Remember they had the flat tops. They had the flat tops, and they were twin towers. Yeah, they were both pretty tall. But I think I don't think there was but 6 teams then, was there? I don't think there was 8.
It
How many
wasn't
teams y'all have in
Kilgore.
y'all district?
It was Chapel Hill,
I think it was 6.
Jacksonville.
If it was the same as
Chapel,
football,
Jacksonville, Terrell.
which
It
I
was.
don't know
It
if
was
it
the same as
was.
football. That back then it was the same. It was before they'd split
That's what I
everything
thought.
up.
Then it was Jacksonville, Turl, Corsicana, Athens, Palestine.
That's right. That's the right ones.
That's what it was. Yeah.
There was another district I think that had Henderson and Kilgore in them in it. I think that was why we played Henderson and by district, kind of like the new district with basketball. How it's going to be, like we would match up against like the Bullard Jacksonville district, where there was kind of split. That's more what it was back then.
I know the year
Both
after
football
y'all.
and
I know the year after y'all played, we went 10-0 in district. That's what I remember. We went 10-0.
yeah.
And
That was a 6-team district. It was the same district because it was the next year 3A after that, and that's when we were thought, oh, we're going to win state that year because we dropped to 3A, and Kenton and that group was coming back, and they ended up
should have win.
And they didn't go as far as they probably should have.
We should have won. I'm gonna tell you about that season, and I'm gonna tell you this: the game that hurt the most was the Tatum game. That game it was a vibe at that game. It was almost, if that was a state championship game, that was just it. Because we went to, it was before they had that little Coliseum they got. I call it a little Coliseum, just hating. We should get one of those. Anyway, so it's they had, before they had the Coliseum, they had this rinky dink gym. It was, you had to walk through the cafeteria to go to the gym, and it was packed. And Tatum was always pretty good in basketball, and we were coming in, and Coach Carr and Coach Johnson were both really good friends. So and so they go, and
was that his first year? He was at Henderson, I think, when we played him.
For years. He was at Henderson for years.
When we played him, he was a coach of the team we knocked out my senior year. So he
Mhm.
must have that was when we just started there.
And man, I remember they had played us in the summer league game in Tatum. And they came to Chapel Hill and played in summer league. And then we went to Tatum and played them in summer league. And I remember they were talking a lot of noise. That's all I remember. And so me, I was a little active. I was on Texas hoops. And I talked a little trash and blah blah blah. I'm hyping
Smokey,
everything
you
up.
ever going to get on Smokey? Back
I
in
never
the day?
got on. It was on Smokey. It was on Texas hoops. It was on Smokey. That's how I got my email address. We're not gonna talk about that. So all that kind of built up the hype, and so we go to the game, and it's standing room only type game, and it's packed, it's hot. We're gonna draw the biggest crowds regardless, man.
Yeah.
Whew, it was like, bro, I can't. All I remember was Jamie Bradley makes this shot, and he makes it three. We're up by 2. Jamie Bradley makes his 3-point shot. I don't know how he does it, and he's got a weird, ugly shot, and it goes in, and that crowd goes nuts. And we inbound the ball. Coach Johnson does not call a timeout, and Ken goes up court. We didn't run a play, and Ken tried to make a shot, and he misses, and we lose again. And if I remember correct, I could be completely wrong. Coach Johnson was like, "That was on me. I should have called a timeout." He's like, "I could have drew up something, could have called time, but he didn't call timeout." Now, which was uncharacteristic.
Wait.
It happened.
Did you say the coach took ownership of the loss, Corey?
I don't want to say that to be. I don't want to say that to be a fact. But I remember him saying he should have called a timeout.
Interesting, Corey. Interesting. That's all I can say.
So on the bus ride home, it's quiet. You can hear a pin drop. Nobody says anything. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. So, but I can tell you this much. Tatum ends up winning district. We get second place. They came back to Tatum. I'll probably say we were up by 30 points toward the end of the third quarter. It wasn't even close. It just wasn't even close. And I don't know. All the seniors played. Everybody was just. It was one of those games you just rather, But I remember that game. It just kind of, to me, that just kind of let the air out of the sail because like and this is funny because we ended up winning. We won 27 games that year, and we were 27-7, and we had lost 3 or 4 games, and the attitude was like we had a bad season. We were having a bad season. You know what I'm saying? Like, dude, we were having a bad year. We lost 2 or 3 games. Like the expectation was that high. You know what I'm saying? Like, we should have won this game. Yeah, but you lost 2 or 3 games. We were at 18-5 at one point. You know what I'm saying? And you still ranked in top 5, but we're having a bad season. So the expectation was that high. I don't know, man. It was a different vibe though. That's what I said. The winning is contagious. It's a different vibe, and that says a lot though. It says a lot.
So let's break down this game we saw last night a little bit. Okay. Because those who are listening, they want to listen. They want to hear what we thought about last night's game. Corey, you talked about the free throws. We talked about that a little bit earlier. Of course, you had Vince's favorite player, Knuckles. That's not any good.
Trash.
Had 27 points.
Trash.
I mean, if he's trash, man, I don't know what a pure basketball player is.
Let's run that back. I want him again.
Well, he probably had that many points against his last game and only played 3 quarters.
We did a good job against him in the first half. I just don't know why we let loose on him.
We didn't do a good job against him all night.
He got all the shots that he wanted. And then the shots that he didn't want, he assisted in getting other people's shots.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So he had 2 guys score a total of 40. Thompson kid had no business scoring 13 points. He's a good little player, but he's one-handed. He's all left-handed, and he pushes off every time. And he'll drive it out of control. Now you did see that they got the foul right, Corey. You did get to watch that
Yeah,
back.
I got the foul right. I see what happened. I
And
still would have got.
he trailed Thompson trailed the play and was like right in front of him because we had the angle that we had. It was tough to see it.
And I think that was probably what it was.
When Rob had a
We
good
were moving
good
around.
camera. Yeah, Rob had a good camera shot at it, and you could see they did get it right on that call. So that may be
Shout out to
why
Rob.
the reaction wasn't from Coach Johnson wasn't because he probably saw it as well. So because you would think if it was that blatant of a mess up, if you're going to go from the number 2 player on the team to like one of the bench players, you get a foul wrong, and then it's going to be something that's said. So,
Absolutely.
that Bullard had a good crowd. I think we had a pretty good crowd. I don't know, and James maybe will let us know. I don't know how the crowd with the girls' games turned out. I did call out the community about coming to the game, so hopefully that helped get us some extra views and also some extra attendance to the game. But hopefully had a good crowd there. Should be a good crowd Friday night since they're moving toward the playoffs. The crowds need to be there. Hopefully, if you're listening, you'll be at one of the games. Should be both good games. I mean, at this point, got to win. I mean, at this point in the season.
To answer your question about what I thought about the game, I still want them to win a game like that, And I know we beat Lindale, and I thought we should have beat Lindale the first game. There's no point in us not beating Lindale. Lindale's a good basketball team, but the first game we played and the second game we played was a little different, obviously. And I thought we played better, and this game was I don't want to say it's about X's and O's. It is. It's about X's and O's. But I still want to see what my team is made of. You know what I'm saying? Like this is it. This is first place. You know what I'm saying? Like this is you can't be casual tonight. Like, do you want a district championship or not? Yes or no? Do you want a gold ball? Yes or no? You can go to the playoffs, get a gold ball. Great. You win the first round of the playoffs, that's great. You get a gold ball. But do you want a district championship? Everything we've gone through this entire year, football and basketball, do you want a district title? Yes or no? And at some point in time, you got to ask them, like, hey, listen, that's what we got to do. And that to me is how I see it. That and it translates to I'm going to do my best to make sure that everything that I do as far as putting the game plan together, execution wise, is there. But I need you to follow through. I need you to be intense. I need you to pay attention. I need you to focus. I need you to do the right things. We can't casually throw the ball away. We got to make free throws. And I said it before. I continue to say it again. The championship's in the details. You can't turn the ball over. You got to make free throws. You got to execute on offense. You got to rebound. Those are little bitty things that you have to do if you want to continue to keep playing on in a second round, third round, fourth round, because the teams get better. They're not bad basketball teams in the playoffs and that so on and so forth. The teams just get better, or the teams have peaked and they're starting to play at their potential. So you can't do little things and continue. You can't turn the ball over 20 times. It doesn't work that way. And so those things are things that I'm wanting them to shoot. I'm not saying you're gonna play a perfect basketball. That's turning you kids. You're gonna turn the ball over, but not turnovers where I'm gonna throw the ball to you. You're not paying attention. Oh no, that's it can't happen. Or leaving somebody open.
Or you turn the ball over and then nobody goes down and they miss 3 layups and no one.
Yeah, that strikes a nerve. And nobody was happy about that. I don't think anybody was happy about that. And that definitely was striking. It struck the nerve just in general, because that's why I said earlier. I said I want to play against Lindale. I don't want to play a coin flip game. I want to know what my team is made of, because the previous showing that we have, I want to know what the kids are made of. And that's what I want. I want to know what type of team I got, because I can't coach fear. Shouldn't be able to coach fear, because you can't. Because if you're afraid to play, I can't play. But I want to see if you're hungry enough to go out there and compete and win. That's where we're at right now.
Well, and the
And if
thing
you're
is,
willing to compete and win, you got to do the right
the
things.
thing is, Corey, you can play basketball all you want, and you might miss shots. You might, there's some things that aren't. There's things that are going to happen during a game. You're going to miss layups. You're going to turn the ball over. Those kind of things. The things that I can't stand are lack of hustle and effort. If you're out there and you're not giving a maximum effort and you're not hustling and you just give up, I can't have that on my team, because that just shows that when it gets tough, you just gonna throw in the towel and give up.
And no one wants that. No one wants to see that happen.
No,
and that's why I said, yeah, and that's why I'm piggyback on it, because it's like you've been to that port where they're trying to go to. We got guys and teams have been in that port. I've been a part of those teams. That's the only thing I know I've been a part of, and it's like I want them to experience that. But that doesn't happen on teams that make it 3 or 4 rounds in the playoffs. That type of stuff doesn't happen.
You got to have those guys that are willing to sacrifice. And we had, and don't get me wrong, there were a lot of dive on the floor plays throughout the game that I saw a lot of hustle. But when it push come to shove at the end,
when they kind of made they run, I feel like Chapel Hill just kind of, I feel like we just kind of checked out when they kind of made that run for a second, and then we kind of got back into it, and they made a couple of big shots, and then you could just see us start to fall apart mentally. The mental breakdown with the steal that led to them running down the court, and we stayed on the other end and just watched them miss 3 buckets. So
it's a game of spurts.
Yeah,
you heard it
is.
Time.
And you gotta know that. So
that's the one thing you gotta sell out. No matter, that was one of the things that Coach Johnson, you gotta sell out everything you've got, lay it out there. I mean, there's a lot of things that can happen during a game, but we weren't going to get out hustled. Once you get out hustled, then you've given up the only thing you can control. That's the one thing you can control. You can't control. There's a lot of things during the game, whether you pick up fouls, sometimes you can't control how the refs are going to call, but you can give effort. That's one thing that I prided myself. I don't know that I got told ever in my life that I didn't hustle or I didn't try. Like there might have been times that maybe, I don't know if Vince ever saw me play after high school, but there have been times I was saying, why are you diving into the bleachers for the ball? You're going to hurt yourself. Why are you diving into the wall or diving over trying to take? That was the thing that I got told about. And those that play with me know, but you can, that's why I got my minutes. Like I wasn't the most athletic. I wasn't the best shooter. I could make shots. I wasn't the tallest kid. But there's one thing that when I got out on the floor, Coach Johnson knew I was going to play defense. I was going to play hard, and there was not going to be a ball on the ground I wasn't going to go after, or a ball that's going out of bounds I wasn't going to dive for. Like that kind of stuff, you almost like, I feel like you shouldn't have to teach that, but maybe you do. Those are kind of, and James said it, hustle gets you minutes, and it does. Those kind of kids, if I'm coaching a team, like I've got a team right now, I'm coaching Camden. Okay, it's 5 and 6 year olds, and I don't know if I told you the story, but where we go, and I think it was the 3rd game. We've pretty much dominated this year. We got a couple kids, they're getting it, and we've been working on defense, passing the ball, and shooting. Okay, simple stuff. You can't get too, crazy with this age. 3rd game of the season, simple, we had a coach. I think they were thinking they're going to come and beat us, and they literally got mad at us because I was teaching my kids to steal the ball from their kids. Like they couldn't get it past half court. Like my kids stealing it and going. They're trying to do that. I'm teaching my kids to, when they go for the steal, protect it, spin off of it, and go to the basket, because you have to guard your man. You can't float over and help and all that. because they try to keep them at the same skill level. And I couldn't believe that. I was like, so you want me to teach him not to steal the ball? That's basketball. Well, they're only 5 and 6. I said, sir,
Don't matter.
exactly. If you don't teach him that now, then maybe I'll teach him that later. I said, you have to teach it to protect the ball. I told my kids that ball's in front of them, that's their ball. That's not your ball. And they're going to take it. And so I think it just comes back to, like, if you have to go back and teach that stuff, then that needs to happen, because you can't have someone not giving complete effort and not trying their hardest. Because if you're going to play over here and say, oh, I'm just going to let you do what you want and not go after it, then you've lost half the battle. And again, I think a lot of it is majority of that game. I saw a lot of hustle from Chapel. I was actually very impressed, and I gave him very good confidence during the game, because you had guys like Huddleston on the floor. Of course, Javen was on the floor a lot. Tyson Berry, Deuce, all those guys they were on the floor. But when it mattered down at the end of the game, like Vince said, when things got tough, they took their ball and went home. They didn't finish the game. You just can't ever give up on that, because who knows who's to say. I don't remember what the exact score was there at the end, but they missed 3 shots. Say we run down there and we get the rebound and they're all down there. Now we've turned it into a break the other direction. We score and we're still in the game, because I think the game was only like 6, maybe 8 points at that point.
Was out of reach. The game was never just out of reach.
It wasn't.
You know, it was a moment. It was a momentum swing.
They had that moment where they came out and dropped 11 straight, but we recovered. And in that fourth quarter, when they broke down, the game wasn't out of reach. We tied it up, and then they hit a couple of big shots, and you could just see people check out.
Yeah. That's a good one, James. I like that. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Like, if you don't teach your kids early, then you have these things that come back later that you have to teach that you shouldn't have to. And that's why I've always, any of the little dribblers programs that I've ran, any of the games that I've refed, the earlier that you can get your kids to know the rules, to go by the rules. This taking the ball and running down the floor at 5 and 6 years old, that's not helping them one bit. They're not learning a thing. All you're going to do is now you're going to reteach them that, hey, you can't travel. So I always, if my kids, I get on to them if they travel. Sometimes the ref doesn't call it, but I still try to correct it. Like, those are what Corey calls teachable moments at that age, and they're the same type things at a different level in high school. And this is going to have to be a teachable moment right here. You got to go back on film and show that play, and show that play, and show that play over and over. And like, guys, where were we? We had a chance here to hustle back, make a play, swing the momentum. And all we did is we gave their student section a chance to just erupt and get more involved.
You know, it's very simple. It's very simple on film. Very simple. Play the clip. Very simple. This never happens again.
Mm-hmm.
That understood. Yes, sir. Let's go practice. This never happens again. That's simple. That like I said, that to me just lets me know where you are. You know, don't check out. Like I want them, like, at any point in time you want them to compete, and I'm passionate. You know, I'm passionate about it, because
that's why we're there. If we weren't passionate, we wouldn't be at these games.
And I say this because I've seen it at a high school level. I've been blessed to see basketball at a high school level, at a junior college level, Division I level. I'm blessed to be around practices and games and intense. I've seen it all. There's only one way I know and understood, have been taught how to do it, and I see it, and you see it. It's not just going to happen. It's not just no, it has to be learned. You have to learn. This is the thing. This is a structural thing. This is it. And that's it. But you want the kids to learn how to play. You want the kids to want to know how to play and win. And that's the thing. You got to learn. You got to teach them how to win games. How to win games is very important, because you get games like that where you may or may not be behind, and now you have to depend on hustling. I don't mind us hustling. Maybe we got to rotate on defense. And I see that too. And that just, that makes my skin itch a little bit because that's another part of intent. Like we rotate. I don't mind us going for a steal, but if you go for a steal and you're out of the play, you have to be able to rotate on defense. And if you out of the play on defense, you've got to hustle to get back and recover. Don't just stand and watch the play go. Oh, the play's no, you have to get back on defense. That is a like, and I said this before a long time ago on telecast, and I was talking about how to deny a pass. Like, oh, you open up to the field and you play and you open up. Now your shoulders turn, and now you're out of the play. Now you have to completely turn around. Now you don't know where the ball is. Now you taken out of the play.
You have to put the right hand.
You find the open guy.
You
I
have to
alluded
get the
to
right
it
hand
earlier.
up there. Yeah, you have to
Exactly.
get that right hand up there because if you do it correctly, you can get beat and recover easier. If you're turned around, then you're not going to be able to get back. So, I mean, you have to be able to keep that hand out in the lane so that, for one, it kind of keeps them from. It makes them think about their pass, and the more they're thinking about passing it, it leads to throwing the ball high, maybe throwing the wrong pass, or if they happen to throw it and you're able to just get a piece of it with that hand, that's gonna knock it towards your goal and go get it. So you may be able to knock it forward. Your teammate goes and get it.
How many times you heard this? Help and recover. How many times you heard this? 1,000 times. Help and recover.
A million times.
Help and recover. Ball you man. Help and recover. Ball you man. Help and recover. What do you do?
Ball you man.
Help and recover. You still have to recover. You still have to see both. And what does that mean? See
man,
both.
see ball.
See man, see ball. See ball. It is basic, but like you can't like.
Those are basic Creationisms, as I call them, Corey.
And it's like, and it's there, and you know what? You know the funny thing about it is, it doesn't change in high school and college. They're gonna teach it to. It's even more egregious in college. If you want to play college ball at any level, it's even more egregious in college. It's just you ain't got no choice. I was watching Virginia and Duke the other night, and if you like basketball, you watch Virginia Duke. Virginia beat Duke.
I don't like. Can we not talk about this? It brings back bad memories of that lucky shot they got.
Well,
it was bad defense, though. I guess you're going to go talk about how bad the defense was on that play, though.
No. I will say this. I think Jay Billis said it best. It wasn't Jay Billis, it was coordinator. It was another guy from Virginia. I don't know. That's where they got a Virginia guy doing the game. But anyway, he said if you're going to play for Coach Bennett, the first thing he asks you got to play defense. It's not negotiable. You have to play defense. Like it's not a negotiable thing. Well, I play. Can you defend? Yes or no? Like, you have to play defense. It's not negotiable. So that's a prompt. That's a thing. It's not nothing that you made up. That is a thing. You have to play defense. That is the core structure of everything. It's like, oh, you crazy.
Speaking of that, Corey, I got to give a shout out to my Horns. Got a big win the other night.
And that defense is in the top quadrant in the country, by the way. So defense is important. You got to defend. Rebounding is important. You got to rebound. It's a part of defense. You got to end up
that offense with
the rebound.
Sometimes that offense is so ugly, painful, but
it is hard to watch. It's hard. If the game is 1-0, I'm good. If it's 1-0, I'm good. We still win. You don't score a lot of points. It don't matter. We good.
Big game for the Longhorns this Saturday in Waco.
Yeah,
I think we'll beat Baylor. Baylor's reeling right now. I got a lot of injuries, so no, we're not gigging them. Square, we're not gigging them.
Don't even start that. That's a good way to.
Well, I would give a shout out to Coach Buzz. I like Coach Buzz. I really do. Made him a few times.
Is that who they have now? I couldn't even remember who they had. I thought they had what was it, Kennedy for a while?
No, but he's actually an assistant at I saw it the other day. I can't think. It was this is a good school, but he's an assistant.
Oh no, James. That's
you gotta kick him out, man. Hey, he good. Hey, Vince, get your boy, man. He out of control.
Take care of your boy, Vince.
Yeah, that ain't my boy.
We need that energy next year, though. We need that energy next year at Jacksonville. We need that energy.
That ain't my boy.
So what else y'all want to talk about? We got So we got the game Friday night that
Yes.
hopefully y'all will be able to make it. Looks like I might have James help me. If he can be there to help, that'd be awesome. I know he'll be there, kind of for the obvious reasons. He might have a kid on the team or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll be in Spring Hill. Oh, there's your boy Vince. He's talking trash to you now.
No,
You said that I sold you a bad TV. I ain't sell you no bad TV. I'm still on it. I didn't say
we
nothing
got,
to you last week about it.
we got to hear this
You-
story. We got to hear the story off mic. We got to hear this.
I,
I'm
he
gonna
ain't
answer
telling it
my
right.
question on that.
I
So dope.
fixed his TV. Is what happened.
So y'all want to talk about your podcast and let everybody know about that?
There ain't nothing to talk about. We know y'all know what we
We just
do.
do
No, I'm
what
just
we
playing.
do.
We
We
do
just
what we
do
do.
what we
We
do.
we got an episode coming out. Gotta get that aired out a little bit. We did talk about the NFL and
Mm-hmm.
and how the racial component comes in because I mean that's a relevant topic. We gave some great opinions on it. Got to give my boy JD shout out. But good things are coming. I can't.
I
I
know
wish
it's
I
like
could say
this,
a lot.
Corey.
I wish I could say a lot, but it's some
It's
great things coming. I'm excited. So it's a lot of steam. Everybody, we
yeah.
all like this, like
We're
rubbing
all
our
yeah.
hands
That
together.
it's your little. This is your little thing, Corey. Like like
That little
this.
meme,
Yeah.
yeah, it's like that little GIF. I don't know why I'm sending it to everybody. I've been doing that at work all day. Now I got a laptop now, so it's like I'm official. So I don't know what
Oh
to do with myself. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, it's
yeah,
legit now.
yeah. We're
yeah. They
gonna
got me low
we'll be
jack. They got me low jack, so I can't do
we'll be
nothing.
uh we'll be making some announcements here in the weeks to come about what we've got going on. Like I said, stay tuned to the website and to our all our platforms, Facebook, YouTube, and all that. We'll be making some announcements. Probably have a special show for our big announcement at some point. So,
Yeah.
oh, there
I
we
just
go.
What?
There we go. We might have to have him on the show one time. Yeah, we
Yeah.
might have to have him on the show one time live.
He
At
said,
live.
just remember to
I,
push the
I,
button.
I don't know if we could do it live. I don't know if we could do a live show. I don't know if we could do a live show.
If you only
We
It
have
knew
may
how
get
to.
long it
painful.
took us to just come up with that.
We'd have to just we have to have it censored a little bit.
we clowned so much trying to record that because we had so many different versions. It was a good edit
Yeah,
though. It was a real good edit, but we had so many different versions of that.
it was fun. And now we got to do a.
We need
The
one
fun.
for this show, really. With all
Yeah,
the
We gotta
footage that
come
we
up with
have, we
something.
should. I mean, I'm not good at doing that, but with all the footage that we have, we should be able to come up with some good outtakes, especially with the Uncle Mo and some of the stuff that we've had going on.
Yeah.
you know what? You know what? I know it could play Uncle Mo. Aha. Anyway, but yeah, I got it all. I got it all there.
Sometimes I don't
Just
like when Corey does that. It
add
makes me
it. Just
nervous.
add it to the whiteboard with all those other things coming up, Corey.
I got two whiteboards here. I call it parking lot. I got sticky notes.
See,
I got a desk. I got a desk full of big pens. All
this is when
kind of stuff.
Mhm.
when I started this. I guess it's been what almost about a year and a half ago.
Yep.
When we decided to do this show this past year. I think Corey and Vince had no idea how much they would have that itch and scratch when we started doing this, and it's been a lot of fun. If anybody ever has any suggestions or ideas, or who they want to see on the show or whatever, let us know. We're up for suggestions. This is more of a interactive show. We like the chat and the
Yeah, we like to communicate with our
We like to
viewers.
keep it laid back, and laid back. The more laid back, the better. Because in the game time, we're a little wound up, and it's a nice little breather too. We like to kind of converse and talk, and hopefully in the future we can have a lot more guests. As far as a lot of. I hope y'all like the guests that we try to bring on,
Yeah.
like newspapers and other people. try to reach out and have more of those too in the future. Maybe even
Just gives
some.
an just gives an extra perspective.
I
Yeah,
would love to be able to get some of the players if that was
yeah,
possible.
that's another one too. I don't
Yeah.
want to, embark on anything, but hopefully after the season kind of get closer, we can kind of interview some guys and talk about some season and stuff like that. That'd be fun if they want to come
Hmm.
on. You know, not a lot of it's not. I don't want to say it's well, I'm great. I'm not. No, we're not doing all that. We're all fans of you guys. You guys are listening, watching. We're all fans of you guys,
Oh
and
yeah.
we want to see you guys succeed over anything else. And
All,
that
all
is
we're trying to
the
share is our and we have we see. Like, we want the teams to win every game. I mean, it,
absolutely.
we feel the loss probably more than you do because y'all are actually out there and we can't control it, so it's harder for us to
I
sit
know.
there and
Yeah, it's hard.
watch. I mean,
Trust
it's
me. If you heard it last, if you watched the broadcast, there was like that last 5 minutes, I didn't say nothing. I just because I knew if
Now,
I opened my mouth, it wasn't gonna be too good. So I
I'm
sat
gonna
there
say this.
and I just took it in.
I'm gonna say
Yeah,
this. People are jealous because they can watch you guys on TV. Just
yeah,
saying that.
yeah.
yeah. They have
They are jealous.
we have something right now with these group of kids that there's not many people around the area that have it. So there's lots of radio crews and all that stuff, but it's not the same. And so we hope that fans and players and coaches and everybody enjoys it. We do it because it's a lot of fun, but we also do it for the hopefully every extra experience, whether that be if they come on the show to talking with us or getting their clips posted and exposure as far as the scouts can watch their game live. I mean, those kind of things you can't buy those kind of things. Those are priceless things that we can do for this group of kids, and hopefully we can continue to do it for them.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's great exposure, and everything. And if you guys are listening, watching, if you guys, I know Brett said it earlier, if you guys want to help and contribute, inbox me, follow us on Twitter, Twitter handle. We're open to suggestions and ideas about shows and everything else. So if you guys want to help or anything like that, if you got some ideas, let us know. We're open for those and suggestions about stuff. Maybe you want to see something. My mind is always on the funny side of it. If you guys know me, I'm always trying to say something funny, a joke, but I'm always serious too. But if it's something a good idea, something like that, let us know or anything. Because like I said, we're not getting paid. It's not a salary thing for us. We're just doing this
Yeah,
out
this
of
is
goodness
just a
of our
hobby.
heart.
This is what we just do because we like to
So
do it.
yeah,
Yeah.
so it takes a little bit of time and stuff. So
Yeah, this is especially this show for sure. Hopefully once all this equipment gets paid off, we'll be able to have a little bit of something, but it's definitely not making our bill payments, that's for sure. So we appreciate everybody that tunes in, and we take time away from our kiddos and families and everybody else to do this kind of stuff. We really enjoy it, and we hope y'all do too.
Mhm.
And so there's James is giving us a thanks. We appreciate you, sir.
Yeah.
oh boy,
Hope your
James. We
daughter is
could,
not mad at us.
I don't care what happened. He's definitely going to have to be on the show at least once.
It's
And you
coming.
gotta,
I feel it coming.
yeah,
James is gonna end up on
yeah,
here.
like you gotta be on the show. Vince, you already know where I'm
But
going with this. We
but see,
found
I
Uncle Mo.
listen.
I don't care
I know what to expect from James. But
Yeah,
I don't know if y'all know what y'all finna get with
I know
James.
what to
I already
expect.
know.
I know
I'm gonna
what to
sit back and
expect.
cool. I'm gonna sit back and be
Listen,
chill. But
wait a
when he
minute.
say
I
something
get the text
wild, I'm telling you
messages.
now, y'all faces gonna be like, did he say that on camera?
I get the text messages.
And I'm gonna be like, that's my boy James, man. That's who
You
he is.
know,
He 100 all the time,
absolutely,
every day.
absolutely. But we appreciate the support, though, man. You already know this love. We
Yeah,
appreciate that.
appreciate that, James.
So just things coming up that we've got going on. Corey, when's y'all's next show coming out for your That's a Dope?
We're probably air it out. I'm trying to go air it out maybe Saturday. Been a busy week at work, so I'm trying to
Okay.
air it out Saturday. It will actually be on Apple or the podcast link. So that is always going to be, it's on the website too. You can actually go to bulldogsportsnetwork.com currently and click on the That's So Dope tab and follow the link. It will be on the Apple Podcast as well. And soon we'll have the images up where you guys can actually watch it through the website as well. So we want to get that out there. I think you guys will like this particular show. We tripped out a lot, but we talked about some good stuff.
Yeah,
Okay.
always.
Okay. That's awesome. And we've got Friday night. We'll be in Spring Hill, covering the girls. Bullard, Chapel Hill. Winner gets second. Loser gets third. Go into the district, into the playoffs. That'll start next week. We'll also, wherever the girls are, their first playoff game, we'll have them on TexanLive.com. We'll post the link for the stream on our website too, so you'll get to it. Now remember, Texan is subscription based, and playoff games that we have will be on Texan Live. So, go ahead and get your $10 subscription for the month, and that'll may cover all the games, may not, depending on how far we go, but it'll cover at least for the first, several weeks of the playoffs. And then once the season's over, you can cancel if you'd like to at that point. It'll be the same type deal as last season that we had with the boys and the football team this past year. So we are still looking for sponsors. Always, we got baseball coming up. If you're interested in sponsoring baseball, let us know. Shout out to Miss Cheryl Higgins. She's our first sponsor for baseball with IPS and her business that she sponsored football this year, and she sponsored baseball last year. So thank you, Miss Higgins, for the sponsorship. She brought us some money for that today. We're still looking for several more sponsors. So maybe we'll even get Cora on a baseball game. That'd be interesting.
Man, you wouldn't know. Listen. Only thing I know from baseball is home run and that's it. And steroids. What? Basic? What? I don't. I know names. I know.
We might get an extra 10 viewers for telecast.
I can do a good Harry Carey impression. That's about it.
So we'll have those.
Cheese would eat. I know I would.
We'll have those games come up. So we're looking at doing a soccer game on the network here in the next month. Should be a lot of fun. I think I'm gonna get Vince on the call for that one.
And shout out to the soccer teams, man. The girls had a big win.
Look at Vince. He's like, what? we gonna put you on the soccer call.
Yeah.
And listen, all you gotta do is say go.
Go. Hey, hopefully we'll score a lot of those and it'll be an easy call.
Absolutely.
Go!
But soccer games do be crunk though. What's that chant they do? I believe it. We will. Man, I love that. I believe.
Oh, that's what. Oh, the club soccer is.
Yeah. Club soccer stuff, man. They live.
If you can get 1,000 people at the soccer game, you be doing something.
So
You know
what?
This should be fun.
We got to find a way to pack them stands at a soccer game just one time. Just one time.
Fun. Put something out there in the air. Let me park that on the board here.
Yeah, we got to find a way to promote a soccer
like
game.
that. Okay, so I got a message here that I'm going to read here on air. Give me a second to pull it up here. It's from Adrian Mumphrey. Sent us a message. Says, I love watching the podcast and appreciate what y'all do for us as a player. I would love one day to be on the show. So
see, there you go.
All you had to do was ask. There we go.
And you know what? It's funny because that's one of the dudes I talk about a lot. I was one of the dudes I brag about. We be sitting there and I'll be like, man, I think I said that the last 2 games I've been to, I like him a lot. I
want to get him on the show. That's what I love to talk. Anytime we have a show, hey, there's nobody. I don't want to say during the season because I don't want guys to kind of focus on that.
Yeah. We don't want
maybe on our wrap up show that we kind of talk about the season.
Everything up.
Maybe we have Adrian on and talk to him about his first season in Chapel Hill and just kind of pick his brain.
Is that his first year at Chapel Hill?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yes, he transferred from and I got to talk to his dad on. He was messaging me, reached out to me over the weekend, wanting to know if we were covering one of the games, and he hasn't been able to watch his son this season on our network. He's been out of town working. Actually, talked to Adrian just a brief moment on the court the other night, and he, was very appreciative about that. have his dad. Which also we had Jared Jones, Adrian's in Iowa, I believe he said. So that's pretty cool. They were able to reach that far.
Okay.
So, but yeah, we'll have that, and then next week, we'll have the playoff game. Depending on when it is, there's also Chapel boys in there seeing Spring Hill, just to see how it falls. That I heard possibly the girls' game might be Monday, so we might be able to get both of them in. We don't know yet. We'll see how that schedule falls, but we will be at the playoff game if there is one. So, but any final thoughts, y'all, as we wrap up here tonight?
We appreciate the support, man. That's all I can say. Appreciate the support. Keep grinding. Once again, shout out to prayers up to Alto in that community. So we're thinking about that, man. That's a tough.
Yeah, man. It's been a fun ride, and I know it ain't over yet. I don't plan on it to be over anytime soon. So like Corey said, keep grinding. It's been fun covering all of y'all, and hopefully we could reconvene this next year when we'll be adding a lot more sports. Maybe who knows? We might be talking about the golf team. Next year we don't know.
I'm not talking about the golf team. They want to come on. We talk about golf.
Yeah, we talk golf. I'll spit some golf with you too. I don't care.
I have no golf knowledge at all whatsoever.
Not a little bit. Not even a little bit. But
man,
that's okay.
I might have some golf knowledge.
That's great.
Yeah.
I'm kind of a hybrid though. I got all this. I played everything going up, so I've got a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
Basketball is the go-to, but I did play soccer growing up a little. I mean, I probably 10 years of soccer.
I tried out for soccer. I did try it out, but Coach Bowles wouldn't let me do it. Coach Bowles wouldn't let me do it. So he was like, "Nah, you messing around."
But guys, be following us on Twitter and everything. We're gonna have a big announcement show here very, very soon. So keep your eyes out. We'll be making some big announcements. It's gonna shake the foundation of the work, and I'm not taking that lightly. It's gonna be a big thing, and we hope you're able to tune into that. So for Corey and Vince, I'm Brett. We'll catch you next time on the weekly wrap-up show. We'll see you Friday night in Spring Hill. Chapel Hill girls take on Bullard Lady Panthers right here on the Bulldog Sports Network. Good night, everyone.
Go Mavs.